You already mentioned some intense battles in the parks. You went over East New York. You're doing going over here, going that. Going into the 80s when the music is popping, everything's popping, the movies start coming out, all that stuff starts coming out. How was that era for you? Like, let's say 78 to 82, 84. How was that era? Was you feeling that? Was you feeling all that happening, the movies, this going on, that going on?
Well, when the movie Breaking, when it came out, I was very upset.
Okay.
I was upset. I mean, a lot of guys that are up
Breaking or Beat Street?
Beat Street, probably was Beat Street, the
Okay,
first
Beat
one that
Street.
came out.
Okay.
I was very upset. Like, who are these guys from the Bronx? And like, why are we not up there? Why are we not getting, all this promotion and stuff like that? It just, I don't know why. It just didn't happen. To this day, I still try to figure out why we didn't get put on, why we didn't come out and make a movie. You know what I'm saying? Why they ain't talking about Bushwick? They know about Bushwick, but why they're not making a movie about Bushwick? And then you see these guys here dancing and breaking on the floor, and then semi-uprocking because they were doing the 1-2 at that time. The 1-2 step, 1-2. Nobody wasn't jerking. Nobody knew what a jerk was. That's the whole thing. When Dynasty came out, it was jerking. It's weird, like how we just got into the jerking thing.
Yeah. So at that time, you said, so you watching that, you're like, yo, where's us?
Yeah.
But to say that also, you did say that you chose kind of to keep it local.
Right.
Were you venturing out at that same time? Were you going to Roxy's? Were you going to the
Yes,
other clubs?
I was going to clubs, but I was not uprocking out there. It was just hanging out. It was a hanging out thing.
So did you ever
Like I said, other guys do what they were doing. Carlos used to go to the roller skating ring, and he used to do his dancing there. Manny used to go to the clubs and do his freestyle there. I didn't get out like that. I was more in Bushwick. I used to the clubs and hang out, but there was too many things going on at that time.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to be safe, and I said, I'm just gonna stay in Bushwick. Even in Bushwick wasn't even safe. You know what I'm saying? But like everybody knew who I was, so that was a good thing. Now, like I said, Carlos was doing his thing, Manny was doing his thing, they all were out there dancing, but I didn't go with them. I was more in staying in the Bushwick area. I didn't go outside like that.
So when all that's going on, right, and it's kind of exploding, and the movies come out, this one's come out, you kind of stood local, you kind of did your thing, your neighborhood, your peoples are doing their thing, everyone's kind of just doing their own thing.
When the movies came out, I was battling a lot of guys at that time, believe it or not. I was dancing against I was more dancing, I was going against a lot of groups at that time because I was so upset and I wanted the uprock to be known. So in my mind, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to keep dancing and maybe somebody will, see this happening, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I used to dance against everybody, but nobody didn't see anything. Nobody didn't recognize this thing. I don't get it. I always took it, and I always say this, I always took the uprock like in karate, because when you go to karate school, you never forget moves in karate. And I should always say that. I said, well, that's uprock, because I'll never forget how to uprock. I'm only going to be almost 60 years old, bro, and I'm still doing it. Like, I won't forget it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I might not know that much history, but I know my battles. I know who I dance against. I know how to fight with. I know those things.
And speaking of battles, man, who did you have battles against? What were some of your most notable battles back then?
Whew. Back then, the battles, that was Dynamic Spinners, Bapo 774, Jaime, Dynamic Spinner again, Rocky Nelson, Dave and Chino was MTC dancers, also with Rocky Nelson, Touch a Rock. I danced against two Touch a Rocks in Bushwick Park. Who else? St. Martin's. I danced against Alfonso and what's the name of that group that he was in? Phasic Rockers. One on One. Who else did I dance against? I'm pretty sure there's more on the list.
Yeah.
It's going to come to me.
And you said that...
Those ones that I remember is because I had problems with them. You know what I'm saying? It was like I danced against them, but it was always a fight after.
So it was like a rivalry.
Yeah, you know, like they know like I used to get busy fighting, and they know I used to get busy in dancing. So no matter how this thing is gonna go, I'm gonna go either way with you with this.
Okay.
If the fighting comes, I'm ready. The dancing comes, I'm ready. Like it's like that. And I'll never forget the battle that I danced against Papo 774 in the Galaxy. It was me,
And the Galaxy for people that don't know.
Bushwick. Galaxy was a after-hour club on Broadway in Bushwick on the second floor. It was a club, a Galaxy club, and everybody used to go there to hang out, And they were all of a sudden they started playing uprock music in there, and it was me and my partner Black Tony. It was Papo, he was all the way down there, and his partner, and a few other guys, MTC's dancing or whatever. So it was not a contest or anything. It was just
Raw.
Everybody was just going against each other. So we started dancing, and then make a long story short, it was me and Papo. He just happened to come down this way, me and Papo, and then it was Black Tony and his partner, which is JR. For some reason, they walked off. It was like everybody was waiting for this dance between me and this dude, Papo I know for a long time. He hangs out with the Figueroas, which is Eddie Puma and Manny, he hangs out on them on that side. I used to see him all the time, but we just never spoke. We just looked at each other, but I don't know what that was about. Anyway, when me and him started dancing, it was to a Sex Machine. I didn't know I was going to dance against him. I didn't say I want to dance against him. It just so happened that he just happened to come in front of me. And I was like, oh, so it's me and him? And then I looked around, I was like, oh shit, nobody else is around, it's just me and him. That's a battle right there. Now you got to go all out, because he was into his dancing, but he was never an uprocker. He was never a burner. He was never out there dancing. He was more of a freestyler. That's why I never went against him. When I seen him uprocking, I was like, what is he doing? He's a freestyler. Anyway, so he comes down, we start dancing, and we going at it, and Sex Machine came on, and the breaking part came, and he's into the spinning, and I'm into the burning. So as he was spinning, they had like a big mirror ball on the top, and the breaking part of Sex Machine came on, and you get that big the cymbal. I'm already jerking, and I came up and I grabbed it, and when I came down to hit him with the ball, he did a spin, it came towards me, and I touched him in the top of his head, and he started swinging at me. Like he knew he was finished. I'm telling you, that breaking part, I was whipping his ass before that. So he can't fuck with me. He never did, and he never will. He cannot fuck with me. Even now, I text him now, I want to challenge, and he never responds back to me. He knows. Anyway, so I touched him on top of his head, and he started swinging at me, so we started fighting in a place. That was a fight between him. And then I had to dance against Jaime from the Dynamic Spinners. The next day, we got into a fight. Like, he snuffed me out of nowhere because he lost. We was dancing in 116 schoolyard, and I burned his ass because he's not a dancer anyway. He was like more of a troublemaker type guy. But I burned his ass anyway because he was a dynamic spinner. And the next day, he went looking, and he snuffed me out of nowhere. That goes to show you about the dancing, how it was, like how jealous they were.
It seemed like it was
and
real
after
aggressive.
you lose, they want to fight now. Now they want to get you now. You know what I'm saying? And end your fucking career, basically. That's what it was. And I got into a fight with him. Yeah, it was.
It looked like the Rock. A lot was on the line with the Rock.
Yeah,
Well,
it was. It was. That's why when you used to get out there and dance, you had to make sure that you dancing, you know what you're doing. Because if not, then they're going to make you look stupid, or they're going to get into a fight with you and hurt you. It's either or. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, you have to be, at that time, you had to be prepared. Yeah. With the fighting and the dancing. If you get on that floor and you dancing, that's it. You got to dance now. Or if you get on the floor and you start fighting, you better learn how to fight because it's going to happen that way also. Yeah. So you just got to be ready for both ways.
Word. So a lot is going on at this time. The streets are going on fire in more than one way. whether it's through the gangs, whether it's through the violence, whether it's through the explosion of hip hop, the movies, everything. You're doing your thing at this era, but you feel that, you know, the rock didn't have a spotlight on it, as the breaking community had a spotlight on it at that
Right.
era.
Right.
What do you feel was the lasting impact, you could say at the time, or the lasting impact of Dynasty Rockers in that era? What did you guys do for the dance? What you guys do for Brooklyn? What do you feel was the impact Dynasty made at that time?
Well, everybody knew because of Carlos when he wore the jacket to go outside and have the balls to walk around with Dynasty Rockers on and pass by all these gangs that are in the corner. You know, when he did that, and he got his respect from that, and then we all started wearing the Dynasty, that was like a good for us for the trademark, because not that we was a gang, that we was a dance group. And then they started spreading around, the gangs started spreading around, oh, they're not a gang, they're a dance group. So you want to dance against them, you go right ahead. You know what I'm saying? We're not out there to fight. So being that Carlos had his respect already out there, like there was no fighting, everybody was just dancing against us. So that and then at that time, when that finished, when it started separating, you want to talk about that now?
I want to ask you one thing before that.
Okay.
Earlier you spoke about the jerk. You said
Yes.
the jerk came out of Bushwick.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The Dynasty Rockers brought in the jerks.
That's
the
right.
jerk came out of this neighborhood. How important is the jerk to rocking? What does it mean? Do you consider people to be rockers if they're not jerking? And also, when you was going to other places, because you say you used to go to clubs here, you used to go to roller rinks, did you see anyone else jerking in any other borough?
I seen other people jerking. Jerking to me is part of the uprock. The 1-2 step, you know, like I said, everybody dances their own style in the uprock thing, but I never tried the one. Matter of fact, it's funny because I was watching TV now, and I tried to do the 1-2 step.
When you say 1-2, you mean like the shuffle,
Yeah,
drop?
shuffle, shuffle, and drop.
Okay.
Shuffle, shuffle, and drop. When I did the shuffle, I tried to do it playing around. I don't see nothing in it. Like, you know, if you don't got that jerk and that 1-2-3 step coming out, and you're waiting for that burn or that hit, you know, look, my hairs are standing because I love the jerk, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just always, and I was teaching Tiny at one time different jerks. You know what I'm saying? Make a long story short, I am going to teach Tiny how to get busy with the jerks because he needs a little help. He knows the history, but he doesn't know too much of the jerks. Like, I have like 4 or 5 different types of jerks that I don't even do it because I don't want nobody to dance like me. If I start doing it, I see on YouTube now people are doing things that I came out and I started dancing. I was like, hold on, I just was doing that in the video. And then all of a sudden I see other guys doing it. That's not how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to make your own steps, your own style. That's what everybody wants to see, your own style. That's why everybody was with Dynasty. There's only like 6 of us because we all had different styles. You know, Diana Figueroa was a Dynasty girl, and she was a burner, a female. Like, any girls that come out touch a rock, she'll come out and take the girls out, no problem. That's why Diana she was good like that as a girl dancer, you know. And then the guys would come, and then, I never went against Buzz, Cuz, and those because it was more, we was just cool like that. We never danced against each other, you know. Cuz I know for a long time. Matter of fact, I still keep in contact with him now, you know. Like we talk about the uprock. You know, he was like, yo, D, remember when you used to wear your hat? Because I used to wear hats all the time. That was because I had long hair. Everybody had long hair at that time. So for the hair not to be in my face, and then not only that, the girls used to like combing my hair, so I used to let my hair grow.
Okay.
I ain't gonna front.
You was some Papi Chulo.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I used to sit down in junior high school, and they used to sit behind me, and they used to comb my hair.
Yeah.
The girls. Yeah, you ask Rob. Rob knows about that.
We hear that back then you was a real fly guy.
I was doing my thing.
You was a ladies man.
I was doing my thing.
And while everyone was a little bit more, you know, you was more like coming out with nice clothes, coming out with with the ladies. You was like a real fly dude at that time.
Yeah.
What inspired that? Because you speaking about coming from an era where dudes was wearing dirty boots and leather things
Yeah,
and
I was
kind of,
not into the MC boots, and I have a picture, but I can't find it though. When I'm on top of a roof, I'm a young kid with my hat on, and I got colors that say Baby Kings on it, on top of a truck. My mother took a picture of me on top of the truck, you know, like doing some kind of stupid move like that, you know.
yeah.
But I was not into that. When I got into the junior high school is when I got into it with the girls and, you know, combing my hair, and I don't know what happened. I just, you know, and then the dancing,
Yeah,
and
just
then
gain
the
popularity.
girls, and then the winning the contests, and walking off with girls. Noel told me a story for Touch of Rock. Noel, he told me a story that he saw me dancing one time in St. Barbara's, and I was dancing against, I think it was green, Louis glasses. At that time, everybody had nicknames. Like you couldn't say, yeah, I danced against Danny. They'd be like, who's Danny? The light went off.
We good.
Okay. They would say, who's Danny? But they were like, But yo, I danced against Danny Boy. Then everybody knew Danny Boy. You understand what I'm saying? Like you just, or Carlos Dynasty. You know, everybody had names behind it. So anyway, I was dancing against Glasses, and he told me that after I finished dancing, that I burned the guy. When I came down and I jerked and I brought him down on the ending of the song, the girl came and put my jacket. You know how James Brown, when they put the jacket over him, he walks away?
Yeah.
So they're saying that they put the jacket over me, and I came up, and 2 girls put their arms in it, and I walked off with 3 girls. And Noel told me,
you
because
don't
you're
even
deep.
remember.
I remember that story. And I kind of faded. I see it a little bit. I remember a little. But, you know, he was like, yo, D, I watched you.
Where?
Like, I saw you, you know. You remember that shit? I said, I remember a little something we were talking about. So that's how it was at that time.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, it was the dancing and the girls and sneaking, catching Touch of Rock girls or sneaking to catch a Phase Rocker girl. You know, you just couldn't do that. But I was just crossing the line. I didn't, you know.
Were there any other major battles that took place before we?
Yeah, there was a few. I remember one time I went to a club on Bushwick and Myrtle, I think it was. It was called Sunshine, Yellow Sunshine. I think Little Dave.
Club was called Yellow Sunshine?
Yellow Sunshine.
Was it based off that song?
Off the song Yellow
Wow.
Sunshine, which was Little Dave. It was Little Dave and Ralph Casanova, King Uprock. They were throwing a Uprock contest there. And I was trying to get other dynasties because there was a lot of Little Dave rockers, bro. There was a lot of Little Dave rockers all over the place, man. I ain't gonna lie about that. Dancing, I don't know too much about their dancing because I didn't care about them too much because they were not up there like that. Their name wasn't out there like they were burning anybody, but there were just a lot of them, you know, flying Little Dave, you know. And he did it, and I tried to get dynasties. Any dynasties called me. They didn't want to come with me, so I walked from Knickerbocker and Myrtle all the way to Bushwick and Myrtle to go to this club to dance against whoever is there. When I walked into this place, there was like 1,000 Little Daves, and when I walked in, they all saw me. You had to see these guys, man, the way they act when they saw. And I said, oh, shit. And they were already playing Uprock songs already as soon as I walked in. So, you know, at that time, I should wear a hat, and I should take my hat and put it backwards. Well, that's when I'm getting really busy. I'm going to get busy now. So I used to put it backwards. And as I'm going in, they like coming after me and jerking. Yo, all these Little Daves were after me. I was like, what the fuck is this? So all of a sudden, I started going after the Little Daves. Bang, bang, taking him, making my way into the middle. Now, mind you, the contest didn't even start yet. I'm just trying to get into the middle, dancing against these guys. And then I saw Ralph Casanova, and I saw Little Dave. And I was like, oh, shit. So then, you know, you put one and one together. Little Dave runs this. He's throwing a contest. And Ralph and them, they hanging out. They, you know, they boys or whatever. So I'm going to go after Ralph now. Because Little Dave he's hanging out with Little Dave now.
And at this time, who was Ralph at this time?
Ralph is King Uprock, a.k.a. King Uprock, Ralph Casanova. At that time, from my knowledge, he was a break dancer. I didn't even know he was uprocking at the time. So I seen him dancing on the dance floor. And I was like, oh shit, he's uprocking. Okay, so that's even better for me. Me and Ralph was cool, but we was not cool like that. You know,
You were
we
cordial with
used to
each
go
other.
to school together, and he was always in the band. And, you know, I just look at him and just, you know, what's up? But we never hung out, and it was not that type of party between him and I. But then when I seen him in Yellow Sunshine hanging out with Little Dave's, and I was like, hold on, he's hanging out with Little Dave and them? I'm going to go against him.
And who was Little Dave at that time? You saying that he had
Little Dave is
you say he had
from-
Little Dave Rockers and he had an army.
Oh,
So
yeah,
who,
army,
who
yeah,
was
yeah.
he at that time?
Little Dave was an older gentleman that came out with Little Dave Rockers. And the neighborhood where he was at was on the borderline on Bushwick and Ridgewood. And he had a lot of guys on that side. I don't know, so many guys he had there. But so I went inside that place and I was making my way through it, and I saw Ralph Casanova and I saw Little Dave, and I was like, you know what? And Ralph had the crowd. When I told you that before, whoever gets the crowd, I'm going for them. And like I said, me and Ralph wasn't cool like that anyway. And I took it like kind of personal because he was hanging out with Little Dave. And me and Little Dave, we didn't get along. You know, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to dance against everybody in this place. I'm just going after everybody. But I started dancing against everybody. I couldn't do it. There were just too many people there. You know, I went against Ralph Casanova. I went against Little Dave and all his little henchmen. I started dancing against all of them. But I ain't going to lie, I was tired. It was too many of them.
Yeah.
I couldn't stay there any much longer. You know, I was running out of steps. I was running out of burns. And not only that, I knew I was not going to win because it was...
Too many.
No, because it was Little Dave and it was Ralph. I said, they're not going to want no Dynasty to win. So I took it like, you know what? I'm wasting my time here dancing. I'm over here going against Ralph Casanova, going against this one. I know I'm not going to win, so you know what? Let me get out of here. And I left. They can call it the way you want to call it. I lost. I can't say I lost. Nobody didn't beat me. I left on my own. You understand?
Yeah.
And it was not even, and the contest didn't even start yet at the time. But I just left because there was too many and I felt uncomfortable. I was by myself. You know, at that time, you know.
Yeah, you already broke it down.
You got a whole bunch of people there and nobody, I'm the only Dynasty.
Yeah.
And you got all these Little Days and you got these guys and you got that. So they can do anything they want to me.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted more Dynasty crews to come with me, but nobody didn't want to go with me, you know. And that was a good battle with them. And then with Rocky Nelson, of course.
Yeah. So man, you really put in a lot of work in that era.
I danced in every park, every schoolyard, every church for like over close to 3 years of dancing. And I never, ever lost. Let me make that clear again. I never, ever lost against anybody. Even now, I still have a little confidence in me, and I still think I could take a few guys out there now. But that's a whole different story. But to make a long story short, nobody never taught me. I didn't look at anybody to dance. I did my own thing. That's why I was original. And I was an original burner, uprocker, burner. I love to burn. I love it. I get a thrill out of making people look stupid and taking their females, taking their shirts, taking whatever they got, money, whatever they want to go for. I was there doing it. Trust me, at that time.
You heard it right there. You heard it. So let's go out of the era now. The way that the story is told is always the 80s kind of came in. Of course, we know what came in with the 80s, the drugs,
Right.
A lot of high crime rate.
Right.
You know, so a lot of people subsequently either stopped dancing, people got
Right.
married, people had children, people went to the armed forces, people got jobs, some people got locked up. Where were you in all of that?
I had my
As
first,
the
I had my
dance started phasing
firstborn.
out.
So I was going to school during the day and working at night to support my first child. And but I was still dancing, but not as much. At that time, everybody was selling drugs, you know, and you know that was part of survival out here. And if you wasn't selling, you was nobody. Yeah, if you wasn't selling anything, you was nobody. You was a nobody. You was considered a nobody. Like, I knew your business. Like I said, oh shit, that's this dude. Yeah, he sells over here. Oh, look at Tiny over there. Yeah, he sells over there. Like, I knew what you was doing. If you was there and I'm like, what is he doing there? He don't do nothing. You got to get out of here. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy like
So,
that.
so the drug game took over the rock game.
Exactly. To go to the rock game, so everybody split up, and then now they're dead, or they're in jail, or they got AIDS. At the time, AIDS was blowing up. Everybody was catching AIDS out there because they were sharing needles, going to abandoned buildings and doing what they do, you know. A lot of my friends passed away. Well, a whole bunch of my friends passed. There's not that many of us around anymore. You know what I'm saying? This is why I'm one of the original uprockers, and I'm one of the originals that are still out here. Why? I guess God got another reason for me. I don't know. But I'm still here. And I'm still in Bushwick.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. And everybody was uprocking at that time still, but not as much. That's when everybody was doing their own little thing. When the Dynasty started fading away, and I was still hanging out with Black Tony, I said, you know what? Dynasty, they all doing their thing. They want to go to Latin Cymbales. Everybody wants to be a Latin Cymbales at that time. I said, I don't want to be a Latin Cymbales. I want to keep the Dynasty thing. You know what? Let's forget about Dynasty for now. I told Tony, I said, you know what? Let's make our own group. Let's do our own thing. He said, what do you want to do, D? I said, you know what? I was thinking about this yesterday. I want to do T&D dancing machines, which I still have my shirt. I said, let's do T&D dancing machines, and let's just go against everybody. Let's go against Dynasty, everybody. Let's do it.
So you took Tony, and
Yeah.
y'all just did your own thing.
Yeah, it was just A and B, me and Tony. I said, T&D dancing machines, you know what? Let's go against Manny. Let's go against Touch of Rock. We can do this, Tony. Let's go against everybody here. And then that's when everybody was getting shot and drugs came out, so that never happened.
So it was just like a thought, but
Yeah,
the
even
streets
when
are
we
too
went
hot for it.
against Touch of Rock in the big club on on Stanhope and Myrtle. It was called the Trans.
Transfiguration.
Not Trans, it was just called Trans.
Trans,
T-R-E-N.
that's it.
No, remember that record, Trans, Europe,
Yeah,
Express?
Express,
Remember that Trans Europe Express?
Yeah.
Well, they named the club Trans. And we were supposed to dance against Touch of Rock. At that time, it was us against them. But being that there was not that many dynasties because everybody was, you know, going to jail or doing their own thing, me and Tony walked in with T&D dancing machine. I said, we're not doing dynasty, we're doing T&D dancing machine now. And nobody didn't want to dance against us. Because you're Tony, we're getting everybody, whoever's here, we're taking them. I don't care who's the dynasty, let's just take this whole thing by storm. But it never happened because a shootout, of course. Who was there? Duz was there, he'll tell you. I remember Duz was there. Of course, Buzz was there. And that never happened. And then, like I said, after that, everybody was doing drugs or whatever, going to work, doing the family thing. And my last dance was in 97, is when I was like, you know, this is it. 97, I'm just going to chill.
97.
Yeah, it was in 97.
Well, so that whole 90s period,
The whole 90s period.
how was that like? Where they're still, you said that it kind of calmed down. A lot of people got locked up, things happened. So how frequent were you dancing? Was it more far in between? Or is this just like a hobby now? It's not that
It
much
was
weight
more
behind it?
of just dancing, and it was more of dancing for my mother because she loves the way I dance. I used to do the whole Michael Jackson routine to Thriller, and she used to pay me. That's how my mother used to say, oh, you still dancing? Yeah, I'm still dancing. Yeah, bro, that's what it was. And yeah, that's what happened. And then I'm working in the Hallmark on Myrtle Avenue, and Charlie Uprocker approached me. He said, yo, I've been looking for you. And I'm over here thinking because of
In
beef.
97?
Huh? 96,
Okay.
96, 97. Charlie Uprock came inside, and I was like, oh shit, I know this dude. And he goes, Danny boy? Like, yeah. He goes, yo, you don't remember me? I was like, nah. He goes, yo, I used to hang out on Cornelia Knickerbocker and whatever his group was called and this and that, and I want to do this Uprock thing. And I want to bring us, not that many people around. To, you know, who are you going to bring out? Everybody's dead or in jail. You know, he goes, yo, but I want to bring you because everybody knows you, Danny boy, Danny boy, Danny boy. Everybody knows you. So, all right, you know, I can do it, which I have the magazine. That's an old, so I did an interview with Stress Magazine.
It's called Stretch or Stress?
Stress.
Stress.
Stress magazine. And that was in 96. And then I did a little routine on Grover Knickerbocker with a whole bunch of guys, Gary, Noel Touch a Rock.
Was that the joint that was on the corner?
In the corner.
And it was kind of snowing outside?
Yes,
Y'all had coats on?
We had coats on.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
So
That was 96.
Up until that point, was you saying, man, this is dead? Like, there's not
I
much
felt
going on?
funny dancing outside because so many years already left from the uprocking
heyday.
and burning everybody to being a provider, and then going to school and then getting a job and then dancing through all those years. Yes, it was kind of weird dancing with a coat on and nobody's outside to a fucking radio that they had outside. It felt funny. I was telling Noel, I said, yo, this is kind of corny. He goes, yo, let's just do it. Noel is one that was like, yo, let's do it. Because me and Noel, we go way back.
Yeah.
Even before Touch a Rock. Like, me and Noel go way back from then. We still cool right now. He still comes here and chills with me.
Yeah.
And,
shout out to Noel, man.
Yeah. Feel better, bro. And he said, do it. So I started dancing, and that was with Charlie Uprock. And when he got this video thing together, they came up to me and told me, yo, I saw you in a video that Charlie Uprock is selling. I was like, what? So he goes, yeah, he's selling VHS tapes to people out there. I don't know how much, but I saw you in the video. So, of course, as I went to find out where he lived. Went to his house, and I was like, yo, you got to come downstairs. He comes down. I said, listen, I heard blah, 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 blah. You need to go upstairs and get all these tapes and give them to me. Because you ain't going to make fucking money off of me. That's what I told him. No, I didn't do it. I said, listen, bro, you already know how I am. Let's go upstairs. So I went upstairs with him. I swear, bro, it's a true story. I go upstairs with him. He had it in a crate. I took all the tapes he had made, even the original copy. I got the original copies in my closet.
Was it the money that you were mad about, or was it that old school mentality of I don't want people seeing my moves and biting my moves?
Well, it was not, the moves wasn't a thing. It was him making money without even talking to me about it.
Okay.
Putting it out there. You know what I'm saying? That bothered me more than anything.
But to keep it real, throughout me interviewing people, one thing I hear is Charlie Uprock was looking for people to try to bring this back. He knocked on Ringo's door. He put a letter on his door, something like that.
Okay, let me tell you something about Charlie Uprock. Charlie Uprock was not known. If that was me going to Ringo and going to they'll be like, oh, it's worth it because it's Danny Boy from Dynasty. Yeah. Okay. Charlie Uprock, he was a nobody.
Yeah, because when I hear the story,
he was not a dancer.
People were saying like when they got it, they were like, nah, I'm all right. But you're saying that if it was a higher profile person, people would be more invested in coming back earlier.
And was known for the dancing. He wasn't known for the dancing. They were known for, I'm going to keep that to myself.
Okay.
He was known, him and the guys that he used to hang out were known for something else.
Okay.
But they was not, you wouldn't see, what is it, Incredible? What are they called? What's Charlie Uprock's group?
I believe the Incredible Rock. I'm not too sure. I'm not 100% sure, but
okay, I think it's Incredible. Whatever. When you used to go to Busher Park, you didn't see Incredibles there. They were into their own thing on putting them. They had dancers.
Yeah.
I forgot the guys' names, but I'm pretty sure they all know me because on Facebook they trying to hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Because they know who I was. But they used to do their thing over there. They was not up in the park. Yeah. Charlie Uprock didn't have a name out there. The only one that used to dance good through the whole group was Mike. Mike was a burner and he was a jerk. He used to do his jerk. And I gave him that respect because Mike was out there doing his thing. Charlie, I was like, who's Charlie? So like I said, when he approached me inside the store, I was like, okay, let's do it. But then he tried to go behind my back and try to make money off the tape. I took it personal. Okay. So I was like, you know what? I'm taking all these tapes. I'm going to burn all these tapes, and I'm just going to stay with the original. Nobody's not going to have it. Which, like I said, I got in the closet, the original VHS one.
Okay.
And that was at his jam that he threw in 97 that I was just talking about, that I danced in 97, and he made a copy and tried to sell it.
We're talking in the kitchen and talking about what rock meant to y'all.
Yeah, that tape and the jam that he threw on Myrtle.
That was inside with the lunch tables and all that, right? Inside the, it was inside
Some cafe.
Cafeteria?
Yeah, some place out there. It was on Myrtle between Linden and Grove.
Okay.
Spanish
So that was
club.
97. So after that took place,
And that
what was your feeling? Was it a wrap for you at that point?
Well, at that time, when there'd been so many years that went by, and I was not even practicing or like trying to get
you're
into
just living
shape.
life.
It's just something that's in my system, or
Yeah.
somebody that knows about uprock. It's in your system. Like I said, it's just like karate. And when that jam came out, and I started dancing, and I was like, oh shit, I still got it. You know, my mother, like I said, my mother was very supportive. Hi, Ma. She's very supportive. She went through all my jams, every rock contest, every park. My mother was there, bro. She loves it.
Wow, that's deep.
She loves it, and she, you know, yeah. And to this very day, she even talks about it.
Wow.
She goes, remember when you danced, and remember this? And I'm like, yeah, Ma, yeah. But she was over there. So the day I danced that day, Ralph Casanova was there. It was me, Ralph Casanova, Byrne, Gary from from Dynasty, and a few other guys. We was dancing against some guys that came from the Bronx.
Okay.
Ralph would probably know more or less about who we was dancing against. Like I said, I didn't pay too much mind
Yeah, you're just there.
on who or what. I'm just there to take care of who I got to take care of.
Yeah.
I don't care who you was from, where you was from, how you dance, or what is your name on your jacket or whatever. I'm just gonna dance against you.
So now you're out of the 80s. It's 97. You came back there to just show face and then burn and get busy because you're like, yo, okay. What is your relationship now with Ralph Casanova? Is this at the point